The profit function can be found by subtracting your expenses from your income. So if we were thinking about this in terms of functions, we would say that P of N, the number of units you sell, equals I of N minus E of N. So what's going to happen is you're going to need to find a function for your income, a function for your expenses, and then you're going to need to combine those two to find your one final profit function. So let's look at an example. Let's say that we are making jeans, and we know that we earn $22.15 for each pair of jeans we sell. We also have some additional income maybe coming in from ads or something else. That is $2,348. So we can write a function for this based on our information. We know that each pair of jeans gets us an income of $22.15. Since that's per jeans, that tells us this m in our equation. This will be a y equals mx plus b type equation. So if we're going to write an income function, we're going to write I of n, where n is the number of jeans that I'm going to sell, equals $22.15 for each pair of jeans, which means we'll have 22.15 n. We're also going to get some more income. Remember that income that we get from ads? That's just a one-time income. It doesn't matter how many pairs of jeans we sell. So in this case, we're just going to add 2,348. And that's it. That's our income function. So if we were to sell a certain amount of jeans, we could figure out how much income we get. Now for our expenses. You can't make anything without spending a little bit of money for materials or labor and things like that. So now let's say it costs us $7.84 to make each pair of jeans. We also have some expenses just to run our plant, and our other expenses are $10,532. Those are just the one-time expenses. We can use these two things to write an expense function just like we did for income. So we would start out E of n. That's what using function notation means, where n represents the number of jeans we make. So E of n equals, now we know that we get $7.84, that's the cost to make each pair of jeans. So since that's per pair, that's going to be the m in our mx plus b. So in our expenses function, we're going to have $7.84 for every pair of jeans we make, which is n. We're also going to have some more expenses, but it's just a one-time fee expenses. These are the ones that we pay no matter how many pairs of jeans we make. So that's just going to be plus 10,532. So now we have an income function and we have an expenses function. With these two things, we can find our profit function. So if we recall from the first bit of this video, profits, P of n, can be found by taking your income and subtracting your expenses. We want to find the difference of these. What do we have left at the end of the day? So we can use the two functions we found for income and expenses and put these together. I'm using parentheses because we need to make sure we subtract all of our expenses. So in this case, our income function was 22.15n plus 2,348. That's how much money we make. Then our expenses function was $7.84 for each pair of jeans plus the amount we have to pay just to run the plant, which was $10,532. So this is our profit function. Our profit function represents the income, which is this function, minus the expenses, which is this function. This is all fine and good, but we want to simplify this because that's a lot of numbers going on, but I see that we might be able to combine some like terms. So we're going to move on to using some real algebra with our function. So here's our profit function in all of its glory. But if we want to simplify this by combining like terms, the first thing we need to do is get rid of the parentheses. Well, if we look in front of this first set of parentheses, there's nothing to distribute, so we don't have to worry about that one. But in front of the second set of parentheses, there's a negative. If it helps you, you can think of this as -1 times the whole parentheses. So now when we have something outside the parentheses, we have to distribute it to each term inside the parentheses. So now our profit function becomes P of n equals 2215n plus 2,348 minus 7.84n minus 10,532. We had to distribute that negative to both parts because we need to subtract both parts of our expenses. Now, if we're looking at this, I see that I have some like terms. These are both n's. And these are both numbers. We can put our n's together and we can put our numbers together to get our final profit function. So if we're combining like terms, we're just combining them. We're putting them together. So I have 22.15n minus 7.84n. So if you whip out your little calculator, you should be able to figure out that our profit is $14.31 for every pair of jeans. Now we can look at the numbers. We know that we have an income of $23.48, that's a one-time income, and we have to subtract our one-time expenses, which is $10,532. So we have $23.48 minus $10,532, and that'll get us our profit constant, which is $81.84. Now that we have this simplified function, we can use this simplified function to help us figure out how much money we're going to make based on how many pairs of jeans we sell. So let's say we know that a particular store or at a particular time we sell 1,200 pairs of jeans. This means we know n. We know that n is 12,000 because n stood for the number of pairs of jeans. So what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate P of 1,200. So what this means is that wherever you see an n, you're going to put 1,200. So to evaluate this, we're going to have 1431 times, rather than n, we're going to have 1,200 minus 81.84. Now it's just a matter of doing the math. The first thing we need to do is multiply these two guys. So our profit is going to end up being $17,172 minus $81.84. And now it's just a matter of subtracting these two things. And we're going to end up with our final profit number, which is $8,988. So here's what this means. This means that the profit we earn for selling 1,200 pairs of jeans is $8,988. We can also use our profit function to estimate how many pairs we need to sell if we have a particular goal in mind for our profit. So let's say I wanted to make a profit of $25,000. I need to know how many pairs of jeans I need to sell. That helps me plan out, how many I'm going to put in my stores, or, how I'm going to have sales, or how I'm going to market myself. So now in this case, this is our profit, 25,000. And in our profit function, P of n represents our profit. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to find out what value of n would make P of n equal 25,000. Which means we're not replacing n this time. That's what we're trying to find, how many jeans. This time we're replacing P of n. We're going to end up with a function, 25,000 equals 1431n minus 8184. Now this is just a two-step equation that we can undo to get n to find the number of pair of jeans we need to sell. So I'm going to draw my line because I like to draw my line, it keeps me organized. And I'm going to look over on the right-hand side. What has nothing to do with the pair of jeans? Well, that would be the 8184. And since it's getting subtracted, I'm going to add 8,184 to this side. Now that means I also have to add 8,184 to the left-hand side. So we can do our math. And so we're going to have 25,000 plus 8,184. That's going to get us $33,184 equals, well, what's left over on the right-hand side? Those undo each other. They cancel. And I'm left with 1431. N. Now again, our goal is to get n by itself, so we're going to need to undo that, and that's 1431 times n, times each pair of genes. So to undo it, we're going to need to use divide. Divide both sides by 1431. We're going to end up with the number of pair of genes we need. So it looks like we're going to need 2,318.9 pairs of genes. Of course, you're not really going to sell 0.9 pairs of genes. Nobody needs just 0.9 pairs, and you're not going to make them either. So if we need our profit to be at least $25,000, we're going to have to round up in this case. So the number of pair of genes that we're going to need to make is 2,319 pairs. Rounding is something that can be tricky. You need to think, do I need to be above or below that $25,000? That's where an inequality might be helpful here too. So to make a profit of $25,000, I need to sell 2,319 pairs of jeans. So that's using the profit function once you've already combined like terms and simplified your income minus your expenses. So now it's your turn. What your team needs to do is come up with your income and expense functions based on the information that you were given as well as the ads that you have sold. Once you have your income and your expenses, you can create your profit function. Remember, your profit function, profit, is going to be your income minus your expenses. Don't forget to distribute and combine like terms because you're going to use them to figure out how many issues you need to sell or you need to get at the launch party in order to make that goal profit. You want to make sure you choose an ambitious goal. There are going to be prizes for people who sell the most, people who are the closest to their goal, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you have the correct function so that your goal and your what you actually sell properly match each other.